Okie schmokey. Looks like I am good to go. Hello, everybody. It's Jill Blanchett. Whoever gets on first, let me know if you can see me and hear me. Well, I'm sure you can see me. Should be able to hear me. I don't see any of my sessions on mute. So welcome to my Wednesday Night Live. I am going to show you guys 3 cards tonight, but don't worry, they're not going to take a really long time. I love the paper in the scrapbooking brochure that it's called Everyday Happiness. And the colors, I love the colors in it. I love the look of it. Hey, Debbie, hope you're feeling better. Thanks for hopping on. Hey, Christy. Um, I just love the colors in this paper pack. And so it's one of those that I was telling you guys about, that you gotta be searching through the online exclusives. You gotta search through the scrapbooking brochure to make sure that you're seeing everything that's out there, because there's a lot and it's all over. So if you get my newsletter, if you don't get my newsletter, go to greenthumbstampers.com and subscribe to my newsletter, and you will get a paper sample, of course. But I've added a little section into my newsletter now of showing some of the exclusive things that are out there, either in the scrapbooking brochure, the online exclusives, or just some things that you may have overlooked. And I suppose I could run out of those. If I do, then maybe I'll start featuring a little something from the catalog, the annual catalog that we may have forgotten about. Oh, find your energy. Yeah, I'll bet. Hey, Vesta. Yeah, that being sick knocks you out for sure, Debbie. So take care. Don't get too much energy too fast. You don't need a relapse. Um, so that you'll find that little section in my newsletter now, and it'll point you to some things like this bundle that I'm using tonight is specifically scrapbooking brochure. The bundle is exclusive to the scrapbooking brochure. You won't find it in any of the catalogs. So I'm going to get started. So I've got my 2 cards. So I've got my Christmas card winner, Vesta. I'll get that card out. And then I got the card from last week, the zigzag fold, and that's Christy Hammerline. I will get those cards in the mail. And if I ever send you guys a free card and it needs extra postage, shouldn't, but please let me know. I would hate to have you get it and need extra postage. And I'll reimburse you for the postage. And I'm trying to stuff my envelope in there. My next envelope order, I may buy a box of a little bit bigger envelope, so that the envelope I send you to send your card in fits. Right now it's a little bit tight, so I'm not sure how they're showing up. And also, please put in the comments, I know we've only sent out a few of these, but if you win the card kit, do you prefer that I'm trying to send some of the images and definitely the die cut things, but some of the images, because like this stamp set tonight, a lot of people may not have it. So you can use some of your own stuff. But what do you guys think? Should I send some of the images that I think need to be stamped and die cut or whatever? Or do you prefer to wing it and use the guts that I sent and create your own with your own supplies? So let me know. Because I know sometimes you probably feel like you're getting the card kit from me and all you got to do is glue it together, but maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe not. And I don't know, can you guys see my cool sweatshirt? I have had this sweatshirt for, I'm going to go, I know it's well over 10 years. I don't know when this pattern was around. Um, and I put it on the bottom of my sweatshirt palette, and I thought it was always too small. And today I was too hot for a spark paws, but too cold for a t-shirt. So I found this, and I absolutely love it. And I forgot how much I love it, and it fits. So I thought it was going to be, I thought maybe that many years ago I was smaller, I guess. So yeah, it fits, and I love it. And it was back Memento Mall, back probably had to have been Utah. Oh, could have been Colorado. I don't remember where I got it, but whenever this stamp set, and I think there was a stamp set and paper was around. But anyway, it's flipping old, and I put it on today, and I just love it. I forgot how much I love it. So let me turn it down. Yeah, thanks, Vesta. I love the sweatshirt, and it's a little polyestery kind of thing. A little, because it's so old, the tracksuit material kind of thing. It's a little old, but it's got draw cinch string thing on the side that you could tighten it down. It was just a cool sweatshirt. And I didn't ever get rid of it because I said someday I was gonna wear it again. And that day is today. And I could have been wearing it all these years. I got rid of a ton of my old like demonstrator style kind of shirts and stuff that we had a couple years ago, and I just kept this. But anyway, I'm digressing here. This is the paper pack, you guys. You get four pieces of each paper. So that one, and that's on the back. There's this one, and that's on the back. Hey, Julie and Kathy. And then you get this gingham and Amanda, hello. And that's on the back. So you get this. And so let me show you. I got you probably all like foozled. So let me show you. And I showed you guys in my big old video that I did. But this is the scrapbooking brochure, right? So we get down here into like pages 16. Well, actually they go this way, but 16, 17, 18, and 19. So here we get into the Everyday You and Me stamp set and dies that you're only going to find in the scrapbooking brochure. And then it's got this two-tone paper, and then this paper pack I'm going to use, and a sticker sheet. I did not get the sticker sheet, but you can get the whole thing in a scrapbooking, workshop kit. So the kit would come with all of this stuff down here. So you got sticker sheets and die cuts and all kinds of fun stuff that goes with it. But I'm not a scrapbooker, so I said I'm gonna get it and see what I can do with it. So I'm gonna show you guys where my brain went, and I'm gonna show you. Here's our first card. So this is the first card we're gonna make right here. And what I did was I channeled into this section. I don't know how well you could see the colors and stuff. I channeled into this section of this page and came up with like this idea. So that's the first card that we're going to make. Put my little brochure over there. And this one, this is a brain teaser again. So I've already got, oh, I didn't score this one. So we're going, it's a 8.5 by 5.5 Lost Lagoon. Yes, Mom, that designer series paper is awesome. I've got a 5.25 by 4-inch basic white. And then I have the gingham, and that's wild wheat side. But this is one of those that I wanted it to be half and half. So you need to cut 2 pieces of paper, and then you'll have the ability to make 2 cards. So I also noticed that, I mean, you can, do you want the light up there? Do you want the light over here? You know, all kinds of decisions of where you want to place your stuff. And then flip it over, and then you go right back the whole gamut of where you want to put it. So we are going to glue these 2 down like right in here. And this is a 5" by 3 3/4 inch that I cut in half from this way, from this corner to this corner of the gingham paper, and then I cut the same this corner to this corner with this side up in my trimmer. And I had all my pieces cut before I realized that I could show you that what I was trying to speak out loud, but it was too late. I already had everything cut, and then said, I would probably screw it up when I'm trying to tell them. So that's what I normally do. And then I get all discombobbled. So I'm saving the discomboblement from the cutting. All right, so let's see. I'm going to take this off. Let me get this one kind of where I think it should go. I think that looks like a pretty good border. Then I'm going to stick this one right on here. And hopefully I got the same kind of border. So I'm going to glue both of these pieces down. Yeah, Christy, this actually reminds me of you. This is some nice colors that remind me of, I don't know why it reminds me of you, but it does. All right, so I've got my 2 pieces laid down there. I'm going to go ahead and glue the white onto the front. And so this card, you guys, I have, I think 2 kits that I'll have winners for next week. Because to cut 1 kit for a winner, this was the 2 pieces. So then to cut 1 for the winner, it gave me 2 more pieces. So I just figured I'd do 2 winners. All right, then let me do the inside. I probably really go, what did I do on this one? Oh, I stamped. I'm not going to do the inside because I did this flowers. So I'm not, we'll do that when we get the flowers out. I'm going to set that aside now. So I used the Spotlight on Nature dies. I use this one here, goes right in here. So the 1, 2, 3rd one with the little hash marks on it. Let's see, I'm going to set that behind me so I know I talked about that already. And I forgot to mention, I'm using Element of Text. I believe this is an online exclusive. If it looks brand new to you, that might be why. It might be an online exclusive. Pretty sure it is. And it's the kind of thing that I like to fill in the backgrounds. It helps with that grungy look if you're trying to get a little bit of grungy going on. I got my silicone sheet. We've got our circle. I'm just going to grab any old block here. I know it's not going to be, and I had it upside down. I'm going to say it's going to go up here. I've got some wild wheat ink. And I'm going to get my little scrap paper over here because I want to stamp off. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to stamp off. I guess that's upside right. And then I'm just going to stamp on the little circle. I just kind of want to grunge that up a little bit because that's what I'm assuming it's from the sticker sheet in the paper, the scrapbooking portion, this little thing here has like texture on it. I'm assuming yeah, it's right here. It came in there. So I'm trying to show you guys ways to use the scrapbooking stuff, turn it into cards, without needing to buy the sticker sheet. I know a lot of us don't like the sticker sheet. So I'm trying to come up with some nice cards that aren't going to use that. So I'm going to glue this flat. Just going to stick it on here. Let that glue on. So now I have, let me see what, I got to figure out my pieces here. So I brought over this piece for something. Okay, so we're going to take our Lost Lagoon and Wild Wheat. And the gray granite is a coordinating color. The scrapbooking catalogs, brochures are just online. You can download it. And it's not in publication. It will, after this time, start to be in our catalogs though. The scrapbooking line will show up in our catalogs. So that's a bonus. That's really cool. Saves the confusion. All right, so now I've got the Everyday You and Me stamp set. And I'm going to use the 2 medium-sized flowers. And we're going to stamp one in the wheat. I have to do a lot of cleaning today. We're going to do this one kind of looks like it's at an angle. I'm doing the other one in Lost Lagoon. And then I've got both of the, I'm going to call them sprigs, the leaf pieces. So we're going to do our leaves in gray granite. And I do have one more up at the top. It is the other one. So we'll put this one back. We'll get the other one. And I need 2 of those. Now, all of these pieces are dies. Let me find those. They're not. So these are the 2 flowers that I use, and then the 2 leaves. So they're stuck in there. But you got the big one and then some of the itty bitty pieces. So like these leaves, and then this flower is also in there. So you get a nice variety of the dies. And then I would cut those out with those dies. But I've already cut them out. Get those out of the way. And then we're going to put them on with some dimensionals. Just going to pop them up. I've got this one down here. Got this guy up top. Then I have the thicker one of the leaves. Now you could trim these down. I obviously didn't get the best cut job. But no worries, if it's yours, you can just trim it down and make it look all like it should look like this. Then I'm going to tuck this one in here. Then we've got the thinner, I'll call it a thinner leaf. That we're going to put down here. And then I have one more of the thin leaves that'll go up on the top with the, oh, I wanted to show you guys what I did there. So we're going to take our stamp set and we're going to use Better Together stamp, but I'm just going to do the B and then we're going to do happy. So don't worry, be happy. And let's get a block. We've got our happy there. And be careful that you don't like pull this. These aren't very thick, so I don't want you to rip it. That could happen. Don't know how often it does, but all right. So now we want to do B. And so I'm just going to strategically place that on the corner of my stamp pad. Or you could take a Post-it note and I have one. Where I put it. I brought my little Post-it to show you guys, but you could take your Post-it and put it over this over here so that you didn't have to be quite so careful. But we're going to come down here with be happy. And then I just cut this out kind of willy-nilly. I don't care if it's I'm going to cut this one a little crooked. I don't care if it's straight or crooked or whatever. It's meant to be willy-nilly. So then we're going to take our dimensional on the back of that. I think I'm going to do my happy next. So then quick cut out our happy. I don't remember why I decided to bring this piece of paper over after I'd already stamped on the back of it, but all right, we're going to just try and follow the contour somewhat. I didn't really want it that skinny, but it works. See if we come down and around. Probably going to get into the end of this card and see that I've already got one of these cut out somewhere. But this works. Got some sharp edges on it I don't really want. But when you're doing yours, you'll be a little more careful as you're following your hoop-de-doos. There. Okay. So now we've got our Be Happy. We're going to put some dimensional on the back of our Happy. Help keep some of that in place. Oops, I lost that one. Okay. We'll cut a big one. See how that's going to work if we go across the whole thing. Oh, that looks good. So that's all we're going to put on there. And then I'm going to come in across the, what's my Happy got all smushed? Across there, kind of like so. And we'll take our little bee, put that up here. And then we need another dimensional on the back of our leaf. And we're going to tuck that. Oh, it doesn't want to go down in there. My strip was too big. So we're just going to go down in there like that. And on the inside, I stamped the big flower. So I'm going to do the big flower in Lost Lagoon, down in the corner. And I did the envelope in the corner. And then I did one of the sprigs, and then I'm wiping it off, just the stem part down there, because I want to get this baby right up next to the flower. So I tried to wipe it off. Oops, we didn't even get that one. So we tried to wipe it off. And then now we can glue that on the inside. Come on. Oh, hi, Jasmine. Thanks for joining. New face, new name. Oh, Vesta knows everybody. So there's our first card in our little series of Where My Mind Went. So our second card is this one. Okay, I know my sentiment's a little obnoxious, but you know, when you're trying to work with certain products, you kind of go with it. So my inspiration for this one came from here. and then these little dots in the background. And then I do believe there was another one of these. I think I was pulled in by these up and downs on a couple of these. So I went with that and I got this. So everything for me is flat here. I thought about raising up the dots, but then I'd had to raise that up and it just got to be too much raised up. So I didn't. I'm going to show you this one. All right. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have the, get this one out of the way. I got a little strip for the inside. Actually, I didn't see I had a pretty good stripe there. I think I'm going to put the stripy side up on this one. Stick that in here. Trim that off. And then we're just going to glue that in. We got that off the desktop. That looks pretty good. All right, now we can focus on the front. So on the front, I cut that piece apart. That was, it has the little dots on the other side. So it is, probably goes like this, maybe. So some of them, like if I were to make another one, it would have the wild wheat on it. But the way I cut them, it's just blue and white. So I'm going to put the white up at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. It is 5 1/4 by 4. Make sure we glue that on the right way. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have done that yet, but that's all right. We'll be all right. So now we have pretty peacock. And I'm going to use the dots that are in here. If I can get there. So we're going to use all these like dots now. And I'm trying to mimic the dots they had on that scrapbook page. And I'm going to say that's probably pretty good for those. Personal choice. How many ever you want. I got the big dots and then I grabbed, there's 2 different little ones. And I haven't studied this enough to see if these little things are supposed to go in the center of the flowers. I don't think so. I think they're just filler. And so maybe with this being geared for the scrapbook world, it's got filler stamps to help with your backgrounds and such. So I'm just putting a few of these on. I guess they're not really going to show. So we're going to call that good. Filling in that background just a smidge. I got stuff flying everywhere. I'm going to close. No, I'm not going to close that up, but I'm going to close these up because we don't need these right now. Get them out of the way. Get them back so that I can get the thing in the picture. So I have gray granite that is 1 5/8, pretty much 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. And then I've got the designer paper that's 5 by 1.5-ish. But personal preference of how, and isn't that side's neat too, isn't it? Cool paper. I think this one I'm going to put, nope, I don't want to put this side up because my little dots match. I'm going to glue this onto here. And you can see I just kind of guessed. So this here's a little bit large. I'm just going to shave a smidge off the bottom. And then we're going to glue it flat. Now, again, personal preference. If you want to pop things up, by all means, pop them up. I'm going to put these over here. I think my sample's crooked, so try and straighten that up. And then I've got another gray granite and a 1 3/8 inch punch. These are super old and, retired, but I'm sure everybody's got punches of some sort hanging around. Oh, and I just made one flat. Nope. So we need 3 of those. And then I've got papers to cut. So we'll cut, or we want to get, and this one's 1 1/4. So I'm going to get some of that vine on that one. I'm going to get the browns and it's wild wheat, but it's kind of got brown tones to it. I'm going to get those colors on this one. And the other one, we are going to use the blue dots. And this would obviously be a card you can recreate with whatever papers you have at home as well. Good use of your scrap papers. And then we're just going to glue them onto our circles. I think I told you this was gray granite. That's one of the colors that coordinates in the kit. Pecan pie is one, the wild wheat. And I'm calling it a kit. It's not a kit. I did not buy the scrapbook kit. And I did not buy the 2-tone paper because I knew that I would make cards and I could just use my regular paper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set these on here because my sentiment ends up to be huge because these words are huge. So my sentiment's going to be like 2 inches by 3.5 inches. So we're going to bring in, I'm just trying to make words like go together from what's in here. So I do a lot of piecing. So I need that Post-it piece now that I can't find. So we will use everything's always got to be buried, doesn't it? Down in the bottom of the drawer, under the pile. Now the tear tape's releasing itself. All right, so we are going to take our Post-it and just cover up better. We want olive together, and I'm using the Pretty Peacock. And you can probably come up to the edge of your pad and not get quite so much ink around. And I'm going to put the together on first because it was the longest word. So that helped me to know, hey Dawn, thanks for joining. It helped me to know how big a paper I was going to need. And then I put this big one. I've used this whole thing. Love every moment together. That looks straight, I guess. Love every moment together. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure what I thought it might make a nice anniversary card, or maybe if a husband and wife, one of them was sick or something like that, you know, it'd be a reminder to, you know, love your moments together. And we're going to glue that on. Or maybe if your kids are getting ready to go off to college or something, a nice pick me up for your friend because her kids are leaving and reminding her to enjoy her time with the family. All right, let's see. We are going to use, I don't want that dimensional. I'm going to use these. I'll put 5 on there. And so I'm going to push this all the way kind of over to the edge. And you could even go further, or I could have cut more off there because the center circle is going to be underneath a little bit. Because the sentiment ended up needing to be so big. So if you were going to make this, you could come up with a smaller sentiment, and then your 3 circles would all show. But because I'm trying to use this set to show you guys, I'm going to go this way with this one. I did not I did bring that background in of the other one, but that right underneath there. So it's just going to stick out a little bit, but kind of a zigzag, give you let you know it's there. Okay, so there's the second one. Pretty easy. I finished it off with some blooming pearls. And there are, can you see it? This looks like a green, but when you get it on the card, the gold shows up. And then this one looks like a blues, but then some of them turn purple, kind of like those iridescent gems we had at Halloween a few years back. I'm going to use the blue ones. This one I used the green ones. This time I'm going to use the blue ones. Oops. Oh, I lost it. Oops, I'm a hand. I think it doesn't have the sticky on it. Nope. Get a different one. And with all the little dots going on this card, you know, probably the gems aren't even noticeable, but I put some on there anyway. All right, so there's our second card. I told you they weren't going to take too long, too much time. So that's the second card that I came up with. And then on my third card, where's my third card? Third card's over here. So here's the third card. And let me show you where I got that one from. Okay. So this card, I'm kind of taking inspiration from right here. And these pieces, I believe, are probably down here in this. I couldn't remember. I thought the Notes of Nature something had a leaf cut out like that, but I didn't want to look too much, and I was trying not to use too many retired products. So I grabbed this one, and it ends up to not be retired. So it is the Thoughtful Wishes dies. It's this big, you can't see it because it went under that, but it's a great big, there it goes. It's this big one. So that's the one I used for this piece underneath. My sentiment piece, this is a retired one. It came from this piece here, from the Bouquet of Love. And I believe it's part of the 3D embossing folder from way back yonder. And then my circle in the background is Everyday Details dies. I used the big outside one. So, I'll show you this one. We've got same kind of card, 8.5 by 5.5. And then I'm using the, let me do the inside, get it off the table. This one I did the flowers on the inside. I think I'm going to do the flowers on the outside of this one too, just because the outside is already stripy enough that will pull in some of the flowers to tie in our little flowers we're going to make. So we're just going to glue this onto our paper. We're going to glue our paper into the card. Now, if you're making this card and you want to stamp on the inside, sure and do it before you glue it down. Or stamp before you even glue the designer paper on, just in case you have to flip it over. Stamp and then adhere it down. All right, so now we've got that all done. Let me give that a score. I have a 5.25 by 4-inch piece of that stripy paper. I think I'm going to go this way. And the flowers are on the back. It's so hard. You know, this particular pack, I'm going to say shame on you Stampin' Up, because I love both of the patterns on both sides. And in my head, they could have put one of these on one of the other patterns that maybe aren't going to be quite as popular. All right. So now I'm going to glue my big old circle down. I didn't get all the dots out. You don't have to get all your dots out, I suppose, if you don't want to, but I'm just jamming them with the tip of my scissors. Use your pick tool. Glue them down. I'm gonna kind of put it up. Not quite center. I'm going to do it off center. I have a 1.25 inch piece of basic white, and I'm going to use those same three colors, the lagoon, or four colors, the peacock and the wild wheat. And I'm going to do the little baby stamp. I don't know where this weird black stuff's coming from tonight. It's all over my fingers earlier. So we're going to do the wild wheat. I'm going to try and put that middle. What did I didn't show you guys what I do on my envelope for card number 2. I forgot to show you. The second one, I just put a strip down the side. So here's the envelope that I did for the second card. I did some of that stuff ahead of time so that I could spend all the time on the fun part of making the cards. Although envelopes are fun because they end up looking so nice, and I don't always remember to do them. So we're going to put a second flower next to the first one. I'm trying not to overlap them. You can, it's not going to make any difference if you do. Depends too how big you would want your strip. Oh, here's that paper I was looking for. A lot of good it does me now. And then I'm going to grab the looser leaf. Oops, already on a block. And we're going to do that in gray granite. And mat out again. So we're just going to, I'm just trying to do the top 3 leaves. So that I can kind of get them close. And I don't care if it goes off the paper or not. I did have a ghost image there, so that's okay. So then I'm going to do the top 3 again. We're going to go through here. And then we'll come down off of the corner over here. Filling up some empty space, the leaves. I'm going to put that away because I'm done with it. Then I have a corner rounder. We probably all have corner rounders. This happens to be probably the latest version of our corner rounders. I got little black one, whale tail ones too, but just gonna stick it in there. Push down. You can come in from this side. Push down. And then we got all of our corners rounded. This one looks a little longer than my other one. Oh, Lordy, it is. Well, I didn't do a very good job of measuring that, but I think I'll just leave it for the video. Nope, you guys, I gotta cut it. It's too big. There's too much white down here. I act like I would be okay with it, but you know what? I wasn't. Okay, so that's better. I can deal with that much. So I'm going to pop that up and we'll put that down here. And I'm wondering, do you think my ghosted image, what do you think? Use my sandy eraser and get that out of there. Because you know that's going to bug me too, right? Didn't clean that. Clean your stamps better than I did. Well, not so much on that one, but looks a little better. It's fainter than faint now, so. So now we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. Prepare that for going down. And then I've already cut this guy out. So we're just going to lay it across there. And I'm just going to take my glue, and I'm not really going to glue it down. You could use the sheets, you know, our adhesive sheets, but I'm not gluing it down that well because I want it to be a little bit floppy. I don't want it to stick all the way down. So I'm going to put that kind of like that. I want it to come off. Both sides. And then now I'm going to go ahead and glue this on the top. The dimensionals. I'm going to come across. I'm going to come across here with it. Like that. And then I have a sentiment already done, but I'm going to show you guys how I did that. So I used my die and I cut it out already. And then I have another piece of paper that I'm going to stamp on. So I'm starting with the word love because it's bigger and more awkward than the other one. So we're coming in. And again, you can post-it note it. You can just strategically put the love onto the pad just so that you got just the word you want. So we're just going to get some Versamark on our love. We're going to line this guy up with the bottom. And then I'm just kind of looking in the hole to see sort of where I want it. Make sure I'm top and bottom. Oh, I forgot to rub my embossing buddy on it. See what kind of a mess we end up in. And then I've got the joy stamp that says so much joy. And I'm doing the same thing there. We're getting just the so much. So I'm coming over here and I'm doing just the so much. Lining this guy back up. And I wanted to put it sort of in the middle of the love because it is lower. So I put so much in there. Whoops, I got extra on there. And then we've got our clear powder. And you know what? I'm just going to leave those. It's kind of like it's underlined. So much love. See if I can, though, take this other one off that's by love. And I'm going to leave the so much there like it's underlining. We're highlighting that we've got so much love. And then we're going to heat it now. Give it a second to melt. And then I have that die that I showed you. I will cut that out. And we would have this. Then I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of. Let's see, I'm going to use up this piece that's floating around. hope everybody's weather has been cooperating. I think we're supposed to be like 50 or almost 50 tomorrow. It's going to be a flipping heat wave. So nice. Snow's going to oh, Patty, Debbie, I did not just say that, but yes, our snow is all going to melt. Oh, hallelujah. I'm going to stick that down. And then I've got those same gems again. And this time I used the gold. I'm just going to slide one off. Slide the other one off into place. And I do believe this part is almost done. How about today's keyword can be trio? Because we made 3 cards. So this one I've got an envelope flap that we're going to decorate. So you just measure your paper to fit the flap of your envelope and glue it on. And then trim it down, any excess. And then you have a really cool envelope to match your card. So there is our 3rd and final card. And there we go. Later. And that's it. We've got 3 cards with the scrapbooking stamp set bundle with the dies, and I bought the paper separate. Totally didn't need to use it for scrapbooking. All 3 cards use the variations on the words, but if you're a scrapbooker, it's gorgeous paper, and I know you're gonna like it. I think that's about it. So yep, I'm not gonna ramble, and I hope you guys all have a great night. Those of you who are sick, stay inside, get healthy, don't overdo it. I will be back again. Remember, the keyword is trio. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. You can message me, call me, text me. Love to answer whatever you may have. And again, you can get my newsletter at greenthumbstampers.com and then sign up for my newsletter there. And you will get like I usually list the papers and ingredients for the cards and such. I'm going to probably start adding the measurements because Lori wondered if I ever added the measurements. So I'm going to try and add them onto the cards in my newsletter. So that's it, you guys. You have an awesome rest of your night, and I will see you again next week, if not before. Take care.